FSC Biology Chapter 11 complete. The best line Biology Chapter 11 complete. The best line summarized for the preparation of PPSC lecturer and subject specialist zoology and biology. This is bioenergetics. So it requires that you must be happy, you must be fresh and highly energetic to learn the facts and concepts in this chapter. Otherwise, it will make you more boring. In this lecture, we shall learn these topics from photosynthesis, chloroplast, light and dark reactions, phosphorylation, types of respiration, glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and up to electron transport chain in a single go. So if you have stamina, then let's start together. Molecular oxygen accumulated in atmosphere after the origin of photosynthesis. So before photosynthesis, there was no molecular oxygen in the atmosphere. The link between catabolism and anabolism is ATP. Photosynthesis and respiration are linked through products only. During dawn and dusk, photosynthesis and respiration may become equal for a short time, which is called compensation point, in which the products of photosynthesis are completely used by respiration as well as the products of respiration are completely used by photosynthesis. Oxygen released during photosynthesis comes from water. It was proved by Van Niel in 1930s. Hydrogen produced by splitting water reduces NADP to NADPH2, which further reduces carbon dioxide to form sugar during dark reaction. That is the critical summary of the dark reaction. Chloroplast. Light reaction takes place in grana while dark reaction in stroma. You may remember that grana are the stacks of thylakoids. Each mesophyll cell has 20 to 100 chloroplastids. Stroma contain many enzymes for carbohydrate synthesis. So the enzymes for the synthesis of carbohydrates are present in the stroma of the chloroplast. Chlorophyll pigments are embedded in thylakoid membrane as proteins are embedded in the cell membrane. Electron acceptors of photosynthetic electron transport chain are also in thylakoid membranes. Thylakoid membranes are involved in ATP synthesis by chemiosmosis, and we shall discuss chemiosmosis in detail a little bit later. Prokaryotes have unstacked photosynthetic membranes which work like thylakoids and they do not have stacked grana. Pigments. Pigments can absorb visible light from 380 nanometer up to 750 nanometer. That is the visible spectrum range. Absorption spectrum is the graph plotted in spectrophotometer for absorbed light. Remember, absorbed light. Carotenes are red to orange while xanthophylls are yellow to orange. Chlorophyll in eukaryotes are A, B, C and D, while in bacteria they are bacteriochlorophylls, etc. Chlorophyll absorb violet blue and orange red wavelength. That is the absorption spectrum of chlorophylls. Green, yellow and indigo, these three colors are least absorbed by chlorophylls. Yellow color is masked by darker green colors in chlorophyll B. That's why the color of chlorophyll B also appears green. Functional group in chlorophyll A is methyl group, that is CH3, while in chlorophyll B it is aldehyde or CHO. That MCQ has already been asked in the past paper. Porphyrin ring is hydrophilic head of the chlorophyll molecule which absorb light, while tail is hydrophobic phytol made of simple hydrocarbons. Very important facts for you to remember. Chlorophyll. Porphyrin is made of 4 giant pyrrole rings of carbon and nitrogen. Magnesium is present in center and is linked to nitrogen of each pyrrole. Now remember that magnesium is linked to nitrogen of pyrrole, not carbon. Hemoglobin also has same porphyrin ring but with iron atom instead of magnesium. The formula of phytol is C20H39 and is also attached to pyrrole. Chlorophyll molecule is embedded in hydrophobic core of thylakoid membrane. Molecular formula of chlorophyll A is C55H72O5N4 Mg, while the chlorophyll B is C55H70O6. Note the difference in hydrogen and oxygen atoms between chlorophyll A and B, and that is asked in the exam as well. Chlorophyll A is blue-green while chlorophyll B is yellow-green itself. Chlorophyll A exists in many forms based on red absorbing peaks like 670, 680, 690, 700, and most important are 680 and 700, which constitute photosystem 1 and 2. Chlorophylls are insoluble in water because they are non-polar but soluble in carbon tetrachloride and alcohol. Carotenoids absorb blue-violet range and are yellow and red to orange itself, that is the range of their colors. Now chlorophyll B and carotenoids are accessory pigments. Why they are accessory pigments? Because they transfer energy to chlorophyll A to start light reaction and they themselves cannot start directly. That's why they are called accessory pigments. The order of transfer of energy is from carotenoids to chlorophyll B and then to A. So remember that carotenoids do not transfer directly energy to chlorophyll A, but the intermediate chlorophyll B. Human eye is protected from excess light by carotenoids. Please remember. The light. Light is electromagnetic energy which is wave as well as particle. The photons, the particle of light are called photon. Visible light is most important from 380 to 750 nanometer, that is the visible spectrum. Only 1% of light falling on leaves is absorbed and the rest is reflected or refracted. Chlorophyll absorb blue 430 nanometer and red 670 nanometer light at maximum, and that is the absorbed wavelengths by chlorophyll. Graph showing relative effectiveness of different wavelengths. Now please note the effectiveness here. So the any graph or any spectrum which show relative effectiveness is action spectrum, while which show absorption of wavelength is absorption spectrum. First action spectrum was obtained by German biologist T.W. Engelmann in 1883 in Spirogyra. He was working on Spirogyra, but he discovered that concept using aerobic bacteria. In his experiment, aerobic bacteria indicated that amount of oxygen is released from blue and red only. Among these, red light is most effective in photosynthesis. That was an experiment. You may read the details further on Google. Photosynthesis. About 10% photosynthesis is carried out by terrestrial plants and the all rest is carried out by aquatic plants or algae. Carbon source for aquatic photosynthesis is CO2, carbonates and bicarbonates. Please remember that is the difference. While in terrestrial plant the only source of carbon is carbon dioxide. Stomata covers only 1 to 2% of leaf surface. Guard cells has internal clock for opening and closing of stomata. So if any plant is placed in dark during daytime, stomata will still remain open because they are open and closed on the basis of that internal clock. Photosynthesis is a redox process that both oxidation and reduction occur in photosynthesis. That is very important point to remember because respiration is not both. NADPH provide energized electrons and hydrogen ion, while ATP provide chemical energy. That is the function of NADPH and ATP. Light independent reaction, dependent reaction, those reactions which depend on light. Photosystems are clusters of photosynthetic pigments in thylakoid membranes. That is the definition of photosystem. Each photosystem has two regions, antenna complex and reaction center. These two names are very important for you to memorize by force in your mind. Antenna complex and reaction center. Pigments are present in antenna complex to receive light and send to reaction center. Reaction center has one or more chlorophyll A with primary electron acceptor. The primary electron acceptors are attached with these photosystems and electron transport system as well. Electron transport system generate ATP by chemiosmosis. Light energy is converted to chemical energy in reaction center, not in antennae. Photosystem 1 and 2 are given names due to their discovery, first and second. Now photosystem 1 is P700 because chlorophyll A in it absorb this wavelength. Both have chlorophyll A, but this chlorophyll absorb maximum 700 wavelength. And photosystem 2 is P680 because chlorophyll A in it absorb this wavelength. So both have chlorophyll A, but their absorption spectrum is different. That's why they are called as P700 and P680. Please remember. Light dependent reaction. Primary electron acceptor trap the high energy electron from reaction center and it passes through series of electron carriers during which ATP is formed by chemiosmosis. In non-cyclic electron flow, electrons pass through both PS1 and PS2. In cyclic electron flow, only PS1 is involved. So ATP formation during non-cyclic flow is non-cyclic phosphorylation. Phosphorylation is basically the addition of phosphate to ATP or any other molecule. So that is phosphorylation. While it is cyclic phosphorylation when ATP is formed during cyclic flow. Non-cyclic phosphorylation. Although it is very boring, but here you will find it interesting. As light is absorbed by PS2, an electron is excited to higher energy level, which is captured by primary electron acceptor associated with PS2. Now, P680 is deficient of electron because that electron is already given to primary acceptor, and that deficiency produced in the P680 is filled by enzymatic photolysis of water to produce oxygen atom and 2 hydrogen ions, releasing 2 electrons. The electrons captured by primary acceptor are high energy electrons, so they are transferred to intermediate acceptors like plastoquinone and plastocyanin, during which high energy electron release energy which is used to make ATP by thylakoid. When these high energy electrons reach PS1, they fill the electron hole already created, because already in PS1 the light has created those electrons and those electrons have already left that PS1. So that hole is filled from the electrons given by PS2 created by absorption of light in P700 already. Excited electrons of PS1 are captured by primary acceptor of PS1. Non-cyclic phosphorylation. Now high energy electrons from primary acceptor of PS1 pass through second electron transport chain and are transferred to ferreduction. Now an enzyme called NADP reductase transfer these electrons to NADP to form NADPH. So as a net result, oxygen, ATP and NADPH are formed as a result of non-cyclic phosphorylation. In cyclic phosphorylation, only ATP is formed and no NADPH or no oxygen is formed. Please remember the difference. Now, plastoquinone is a complex of 2 cytochromes. So, 2 cytochromes are united with each other to form plastoquinone, while plastocyanin is a protein containing copper and ferreduction is a protein containing iron, as the name suggests, ferri means iron. ATP formation during first electron transport chain is called photophosphorylation because it is driven by light energy. Chemiosmosis. The process of ATP formation that uses membranes to couple redox reaction is called chemiosmosis. So in simple osmosis, water molecules are transferred, but in chemiosmosis, chemicals are transferred like hydrogen ions. Electron transport chain transport hydrogen ions across thylakoid membrane from lumen to stroma. Please remember the direction from lumen to stroma. Energy required to pump these ions into is provided by high energy electrons. Energy of these electrons is transformed into potential energy in the form of gradient of hydrogen ion, because inside the hydrogen ions become higher at concentration because they are produced inside lumen. When hydrogen ion being at higher concentration in lumen move out through ATP synthase enzyme, that is the only channel for hydrogen ion to come out. So when they move through this enzyme embedded in thylakoid membrane, they are used as reducing agent for enzyme to make ATP from ADP. In this way, ATP is formed as a result of chemiosmosis. Dark reaction. Dark reaction or light independent reaction takes place in stroma of chloroplast, also called as Kelvin cycle because Melvin Kelvin, who got Nobel Prize in 1961, discovered it. The first is carbon fixation. What is carbon fixation? Incorporation of CO2 into organic material, because CO2 is a free molecule. When this molecule is incorporated into an organic material, then it is called as carbon fixation. Cycle begins when carbon dioxide react with ribulose bisphosphate RUBP catalyzed by Rubisco enzyme, which is most abundant protein on earth as well as in chloroplast. Rubisco, please remember. Now the product obtained from reaction is highly unstable 6 carbon molecule which immediately breaks into PGA. PGA is phosphoglyceric acid or 3-phosphoglycerate. Both are the names for the same molecule. This is the final product of phase 1 of Calvin cycle. That's why it is called C3 pathway. So the first step is C3 pathway because the final products have 3 carbon molecules. Reduction phase. Now PGA receives a phosphate group from ATP and form 1,3 bisphospho. Bisphospho means 2 phosphate groups are attached here. Glycerate. 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate is reduced to glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate G3P by accepting electrons from NADPH, and G3P is same as formed during glycolysis in plants. G3P is an energy rich molecule which is a carbohydrate product of Calvin cycle. So please remember that the product of Calvin cycle is G3P, not glucose. Regeneration. Among 6 molecules of G3P having 18 carbon, because single molecule have 3 carbon in total, only 1 converts into glucose. That is the key point here to remember. Only one converts into glucose and rest 5 are recycled to form 3 molecules of 5 carbon, ribulose bisphosphate, and the cycle begins again. Formation of these 3 molecules or RUBP utilizes 3 ATPs to phosphorylate. That is the key thing here to remember because this MCQ has been asked in the past papers. Respiration. The most common fuel to obtain energy is glucose. Glycolysis is splitting of sugar which occurs in cytosol outside mitochondria. Glycolysis is universal in nature and occurs in all types of cells. After glycolysis, there are different ways to process pyruvic acid. So on the basis of these processes of processing of pyruvic acid, respiration is divided into aerobic, anaerobic, or fermentation, or alcoholic fermentation, lactic acid fermentation, etc. In yeast, pyruvic acid is broken by alcoholic fermentation into ethyl alcohol, please remember, anaerobically, while in muscle cells of human, pyruvic acid is converted into lactic acid anaerobically when there is deficiency of oxygen in the muscles, especially during sprinting or exercise. Anaerobically, only 2% energy of glucose is converted into ATP, that is very poor efficiency. Phosphate bonds of ATP are broken by hydrolysis and release 7.3 kilocalories per mole. Please remember that energy is per mole, not per molecule. Enzyme dehydrogenase linked with coenzymes remove hydrogen, and cellular respiration is essentially an oxidation process. Now please remember, the photosynthesis is a redox reaction while cellular respiration is an oxidation process. Glycolysis. Glycolysis do not require oxygen and it occurs in cytosol. Glycolysis produces 2 molecules of pyruvic acid from single glucose molecule. Enzymes ATP and NAD coenzyme are essential and present in cytosol for glycolysis. There are 2 phases of glycolysis, preparatory phase and oxidative phase. In preparatory phase, ATP transfers phosphate to glucose to form glucose 6-phosphate. Then glucose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 6-phosphate by enzyme or by isomerization. Now another ATP transfer phosphate to this and fructose 1,6-bisphosphate 2-phosphate are present in the same molecule. Then this molecule breaks into 3 PGAL or G3P and dihydroxyacetone phosphate. Now these two are the products of first reaction. 3-PGAL and dihydroxyacetone phosphate are isomers and are interconvertible. In fact, they are readily interconvertible with each other. That is, dihydroxyacetone phosphate change into 3-PGAL and 3-PGAL change into dihydroxyacetone whenever required. In oxidative phase or payoff phase, two electrons or hydrogen atoms are removed from 3-PGAL and transferred to NAD. Then a second phosphate is donated to 3-PGAL to form 1,3-bisphosphoglyceraldehyde BPG. Now molecule have 2 phosphate and give 1 phosphate to form ATP and is converted to 3-phosphoglycerate 3-PG and then to 2-PG immediately. 3-PG to 2-PG is no special process required for the conversion. From 2-PG a molecule of water is removed and it converts to phosphoenol pyruvate PEP. Now PEP donate its remaining phosphate to form another ATP and is now pyruvic acid, which is the final product of glycolysis. Pyruvic acid oxidation. Pyruvate or pyruvic acid formed as a result of glycolysis does not enter Krebs cycle directly, but it first change into 2-carbon acetic acid, and decarboxylation of this pyruvate releases 1 molecule of carbon dioxide. Acetic acid then enter mitochondria and unite with coenzyme A to form acetyl coenzyme A. That acetyl coenzyme A enter Krebs cycle. So Krebs cycle or citric acid cycle. Acetyl coenzyme A, which is a 2-carbon molecule, unite with oxaloacetate. So remember that oxaloacetate is the first enzyme or chemical in the Krebs cycle which interact with the coming acetyl coenzyme A. Oxaloacetate is 4-carbon to form citrate. These bracketed information is very important for you to remember, because when MCQs are made in depth, then these things are asked. This union uses 1 water molecule and regenerate coenzyme A. Citrate isomerized to form isocitrate using NAD oxidation by hydrogen removal. Then removal of CO2 results isocitrate into alpha ketoglutarate. Alpha ketoglutarate change into succinate by carbon dioxide removal and water intake. Then this conversion of alpha ketoglutarate into succinate results into ATP. Then succinate converts into fumarate by removal of 2 hydrogen atoms by FAD, flavin adenine dinucleotide, into FADH2. With the addition of another molecule of water, fumarate converts into malate. Then malate changes into oxaloacetate, which is a starting product, starting chemical for the Krebs cycle, which is original 4-carbon molecule by NAD mediated oxidation. Now oxaloacetate is ready to join another acetyl coenzyme A to begin the cycle again. Now my tip to remember these molecule name is that please extract all the names of these molecules and write them on the paper. Then remember these names. When these names are in your mind, then you can link the sequence, that this into this into this into this, etc. And that is very important practice for you to appear in the PPSC exam. Now the last part of the respiration is respiratory chain or electron transport chain. Substances which take part in electron transport chain are coenzyme Q, cytochrome BCAA3 and oxygen. These 3 substances are important for electron transport chain. NADH produced from Krebs cycle transfer the hydrogen atoms to electron transport chain. Cytochromes are electron transport intermediates having heme of prostatic group which undergo valency changes of iron atom. First NADH is oxidized to coenzyme Q and release energy to form ATP. So 1 molecule of ATP is formed. Coenzyme Q is oxidized by cytochrome B and the B into C to form another ATP. So 2 ATP are formed. Cytochrome C then reduces a complex of cytochrome A and A3. Cytochrome A oxidizes itself with an oxygen, and so electrons arrive at bottom end. Final electron acceptor of ATC is oxygen. One water molecule and third ATP molecule is formed here as a result of electron transport chain. So, in summary, two molecules are net generated by glycolysis and similarly one molecule is generated of ATP from Krebs cycle and three molecules from ETC. So the total 6 ATP molecules are formed as a result of glycolysis, Krebs cycle and electron transport chain. Oxidative phosphorylation. Synthesis of ATP in the presence of oxygen is called oxidative phosphorylation. It is coupled with respiratory chain or electron transport chain. Coupled mean they occur simultaneously. Oxidative phosphorylation occurs in inner membrane of mitochondria. It is also chemiosmosis as in thylakoid membrane, but here the membrane is inner mitochondrial membrane and hydrogen ions are pumped between intermembrane space and inner membrane. Next, inshallah, the video is of chapter 12, nutrition, and I shall try to make a single video, but if that is a long chapter, so I shall divide into 2 or 3 maybe. So stay happy, stay informed, stay prepared. Allah Hafiz.